This video will do an introduction to Publisher, just a short overview of some of the templates that are available and things that we can do. This first window here in the Publisher program, after it's opened, shows basic templates available in categories here. And then when clicking on a template category, for example, greeting cards, that opens up then into subcategories: birthday, holidays, occasions, events, and such. Then these will be the blank sizes down here for when you're building an item from scratch. I'll go ahead and choose from this birthday section right here. I'll choose this item. It's already defaulting to the quarter sheet fold, and that's the layout that's available, and we'll click on Create. Okay. Now specifically with greeting cards, even though this looks like an 11-inch by 8.5-inch page, you can see, looking at the rulers up here, that it's not. It's 4 1/4 this way, and roughly 5 1/2 this way. Because this will be printed on an 8.5 by 11 page, then that you fold into fourths to have a cover, an inside page, and a back cover. So even though it looks like 4 separate pages here in the page navigation bar, it's actually one sheet of paper then where you're working on the 4 quadrants, because it will then be folded for you. Alright, so some things that are available. Many of the icons that are on the bars up here on the ribbon match what we use in Microsoft Word. So on the home is where we have our fonts and font sizes. We'll use those in just a moment. On the Insert tab, things you're familiar with: tables, pictures, clip art, shapes, things like that, drawing text boxes here. Page design is a little bit different. You can still control your margins and the orientation of the page, but the color schemes are located right here. As you hover your mouse pointer over a color scheme, you can find one that you like better. Once you find one that you like, that one's nice and bright, and we'll click that. Going back over then, the templates are filled with items that are layered. Publisher is software for putting together objects and elements to make your project. Typically you don't, large pieces of text you wouldn't type in Publisher. It would probably be in Microsoft Word, and then you just copy and paste into Publisher. Small pieces of text like this right here you'd just type directly here in Publisher. But these items then that are all layered together, when you click and select an item, like I've got this text box here, I can then drag that, and I'm putting these items over here in what's called the Scratch section. The Scratch section in Publisher is very helpful because anything that's out here outside the layout of the document is still stored with the document. So pictures and things can be put in here. We'll move things out. Some of this design elements can be moved out and can be stored out here. Now for different things that you can insert, clicking on the Insert tab. Some of the basics: when you go to Clip Art, the Clip Art pane will open up over here. We'll search out cake. Double-clicking an item. When the picture item comes in, just make sure you go to your Format tab to make any changes for the picture. The cropping feature's been turned on to this picture. I'm going to shut that off. I always set the wrap text setting to tight. Sizing, looking for a 2-headed arrow on the side. Sizing that down. And then you've got the smaller picture that you can move and position wherever. Just a couple of other things to note. With pictures, you do have options here with borders. If you want to put different types of things just to add extra elements around the picture like that. Caption features right up here. what you can do then is you can have a caption, and then you can type in here, a small cake for you. So that's a nice element of adding a caption into the picture. Whoops. Control Z, using my undo button for that. Selecting the picture and the caption. Again, they can be moved and placed wherever. Using the page navigation then, I'm clicked here. Now I'm onto the inside pages. You can change the caption to whatever you want, adding pictures, adding elements, other things that you could insert. Under the Shapes menu, you could come down here and pick some sort of a shape like this. When the shape is selected, you have a whole format ribbon up here for picking colors and fills and things like that. Just typing directly on it. Adding shadows. Some options there. On the Home tab for drawing text boxes. Typing in. With text boxes then, there's a whole Format tab that appears with your text box. You can choose where the text sits within the box using these right here. You can pick some of the different items here if you want a different font, things like that. I'll select my text, picking a different font, changing the size. So several elements there. Using the Drawing Tools Format tab that goes with my text box as well. I can give that shape a fill. I can give it some three-dimensional effects if I want it to look like a cube, something like that. So lots of options. And again, with these things here, I can pull this out to the scratch area out here while I continue to work on the background. One other thing I forgot to mention, and I'll use any one of these pages here. On the Page Design tab, down here at the very end is the background section. These colors are pulled from the color scheme that I chose earlier, and I can choose then to have some colors here on the background. And I can add that one in as well over here. Those are just a few of the features in working with Publisher.